Hey guys, this is David and Jose, co-founders of Chipmunk Baking here for Founders Friday. We thought we'd answer a few of your pressing questions on business, health, nutrition, all kinds of things. So let's jump in.
Take it away.
So question 1 is, what is your company in 2 to 5 words?
I'll take this one. We are a mindful alternative snack / dessert. So what is that, 4 words?
4 words.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 is, why is now the time for Chipmunk to exist?
I think as COVID has kind of run its course, people have become more health conscious. Prior to COVID, I think there was already kind of a new wave of thinking where people were more mindful of ingredients and how much sugar they were eating, and so keto and like low carb diets kind of took off. But it's really just reflecting back on the fact that people are more health conscious than ever. So
Yeah, I would also say that a lot of new ingredients are coming out, or like ingredients that people didn't know about maybe 20, 30 years ago are available on the market. Things like monk fruit sweetener, which we use in all of our cookies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's this awesome sweetener, basically no calories, actually is an antioxidant. And no one knew about it, but it's sort of taken off and is widely available. And I think that just helps companies like us to continue to bring innovative products to the market that are just healthier.
Awesome. Okay, question 3 is, why are you the ones to solve this problem?
that's easy. I'm a diabetic with a sweet tooth. I love sweet things, and I'm also health conscious, and so they're normally not, they don't go hand in hand. You sacrifice one for the other. So you're either sacrificing the taste of the product for its health benefits, or you're sacrificing the health benefits for its taste. And I decided to tackle both sides of the equation and kind of be in the middle. And so we created something that's good tasting and good for you.
I would add on to that, like I guess from like a business perspective, why Jose and I particularly work well as founders is we balance each other out. You can clearly tell Jose is very passionate and knowledgeable from like a health, nutritional, like your overall body wellness standpoint, while I'm more of like a business oriented person. My background's more like finance, accounting. So he's the guy who's this super optimistic, super knowledgeable face of the company, can speak to our customers, can go out and kind of serve as like the preacher for Chipmunk. But then I balance it out with like making sure that we have processes in place and we can actually get the product to the end customer in a way that's, affordable. So I think if you're thinking about like a business, that's a great thing to look for in your co-founders. Is probably not someone who's exactly like you, but someone who has strengths where you might have weaknesses, vice versa, so that together, you're a great combo.
Awesome, I like that. The next one is, if you weren't building a startup, what would you be doing now?
Well, I was in 2 startups prior to this, so I've kind of gone down that route. If I wasn't doing any of that though, I'd probably be in medicine or like physical therapy.
Yeah, I've done a lot of different careers before. This is my first startup. I think if I was just magically taken out of it, I would take some time to travel, enjoy some like personal time with my wife, see the world a little bit. And then I think after that, one area I haven't ever worked in is more like the nonprofit or even like education space. So that might be something I'd tackle if I had a next step in my career.
Next one is, tell us about your first paying customer and revenue expectations over the next year.
Our first paying customer?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom.
Yeah, we actually had some sales like right from the get-go at a co-working space that we were at called the Cannon. And so we started handing out samples the first day, and people liked it, and we're like, we're going to sell it to you next time. We're like, sure, and then we did, and we sold a batch, and people liked it. So our first customers were co-workers and nice people. People throwing us a bone.
I think when we were first selling the cookies, we sold them for like $5 a pack, and
you got 2.
Yeah, when people were willing to pay that much for our cookies, I think that just proved to us that there was definitely demand out there, for something that tasted good but was good for you. In terms of revenue projections, so when Jose and I started this business about 3 years ago, it was kind of just a side gig for us. We were both working still, and like he said, we were selling cookies at the office. We were going to farmers markets. So in that first year, we sold just about 70,000 in total sales. Last year, we got a little more professional. We moved into a commercial kitchen. We started hiring some contractors, aka Jose's brother and his friends, and we managed to achieve 340,000 in revenue. This year, we built out the space we're in today. We've got our own bakery, our own little warehouse. We started expanding into wholesale. We're in like Central Market, a bunch of other stores, and we are on pace to do $1 million in revenue, so almost 3x. Next year, our goal is to try to double again.
3x.
Yeah, we'll see. We've got some plans in the works, new products, new tactics online, and then also just trying to get broader exposure in traditional brick and mortar stores, so people across the country can actually find Chipmunk products on the shelves.
Awesome. The next one is going to be, where do you think your growth will be the next year? But y'all already answered that. I just wanted to touch on, with regards to y'all's employees, like how y'all have grown in terms of allowing different people in, and how y'all as kind of owners and bosses want them to grow too, if y'all could touch on that.
I mean, when we first started, it was just us. We did all the baking at home. We moved into a co-working. It was a kitchen that we were subleasing effectively from a catering company. And so we brought my brother in. He was a high schooler at the time, playing football, and then he got a bunch of his like high school football friends to like come help us bake. So we had this like small team that we built out. And until we moved into this space, we didn't really have an employee because they were contractors. So we finally built out a team that we actually have on the payroll. I think we're up to what, like 10 total?
We've got about
people?
10 full-time employees, and then a couple contractors that work with us. About half of those now work in our operations side, and the remainder are either helping with sales or marketing, customer service. In terms of like employee growth, so for Jose and myself, very early on, we actually drew like an org chart for the business and kind of recognized that in order to grow a business beyond just a hobby, you have to put people into roles where they can take ownership of those key components of the business. Because Jose and I there's not enough physical time in the day to do everything, which is exactly what we did for almost 2 years. So as we think about our people, we're really like analyzing what are the critical components of the business, and how can we find awesome people who have the creativity, the intellectual curiosity, just the overall discipline to move into those roles and start to take ownership. So we've got leaders on the operations side. We have people that started with us as just bakers, and now they're we have a director of operations. We have a kitchen manager who are overseeing buying our ingredients, tracking our efficiency, making sure we're hiring the right people for the baking side. Marketing wise, we had people that came in originally just like packing orders with us, and now they're fully running our customer service program, doing things like this, helping us capture video and share it on our social media platforms. And I think there's a lot of really exciting projects to come down the road. That's the great thing about a startup is almost month by month, things just change so rapidly, and ideally you're growing as that change is occurring, which means there's new opportunities for everyone on the team. So people can grow in the roles that they currently have, but they can also start to take on different roles and hopefully explore the areas that they're like most passionate about and that they care most about. So when they come to work, it's not just a crappy Monday day for them, but they're excited because they're getting to pursue the things that they care about.
We also ask, like, what do you want to do beyond where you currently are? So that helps kind of steer the ship a little bit. And at the end of the day, we're a startup, so it's a growth mindset all the time. Everyone wears different hats, and you grow as you go.
Yeah, learning all together. Yeah. So you kind of just touched on it, but at the moment, this is the last question. How do you measure success? What are your metrics?
Ooh.
So I think there's kind of like a quantitative and a qualitative aspect to this. Quantitatively, we're actually pretty diligent about our metrics. We have we call it like a weekly leadership meeting, where the head of our marketing, Jose, me, and the head of our operations, we all get together and we talk through core metrics for the business. One of them is just like, how are we doing cash wise? So what's like our cash flow looking like? How much cash do we have as a business? Another is around like our online sales on a daily basis. So how much are we selling on our website and Amazon on a daily basis, and how much is
on a daily basis?
Yeah. Our customer acquisition costs for e-commerce as well, like how much it costs us to find and acquire new customers. And then operations wise, we track like how much we're producing and like how efficiently we did that in terms of the labor that we had to put into to get that stuff done. In terms of like success, I mean, typically you just want to see your revenue growing while you're keeping your costs under control. For us, a big goal is to just become like profitable as a business, which we're kind of right about there. We're about break even. And then I would say like qualitatively, outside of just the hard numbers, it really comes down to like the people and the culture that we're building. So around the same time we developed those key metrics, we actually wrote out what we believe were our 4 core values as a company. And in order to get everyone on the same page, we have weekly team lunches with everyone in the company, and we review those core values. We talk about like how we're living up to them and how we're not. We also do like one-on-one meetings with our team and set regular goals and have discussions about trying to grow and develop and kind of live with those core values. So I think that's maybe a quick view on that is like maybe turnover, like because a lot of our current employees have stuck around with us for a while. They seem really happy. They're growing in their roles. I think long term, that's something that Jose and I are looking at is if people were leaving, then that's clearly a sign they're not happy, they're not growing. So it's that combination, like you need to have those core financial metrics in place to make sure the business is actually viable, but you also need to have great people and you need to keep those great people. So I think those 2 things are what we look at the most.
As far as, I guess, measuring some of that, like numbers will say one thing or another, but you have to have a goal or like something in sight that you want to reach, whether it's like you want to hit a specific amount of sales a day or you want to have a certain efficiency goal. It's about setting like short-term and long-term goals and making a pathway to get to said goal. We do that quarterly. So.
Well, awesome. I look forward to the next Founders Friday with y'all. And any more questions to go?
Sweet.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.